We draw closer to the final act. Just one scene remains. Nerves, excitement, and anticipation as we wait to see which breeders.
Who you heard in the last segment, Eddie Olczyk likes Vino Rosso. Elate, Matt Bernier picking Elate. So let's go through some of these horses a little bit more in detail. And we got to start with the favorite of Mackenzie.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry, I know you've seen every one of Mackenzie's races. Obviously, you've never ridden him, but you know, I know you've tried to put yourself in Joel Rosario's shoes mentally. How would you ride Mackenzie?
Well, because I think we pretty well know he doesn't like to run in amongst other horses necessarily, I think that if he doesn't send him out of the gate a little bit, then he gets surrounded by several horses, by Mongolian Groom, by Vino Rosso. So I think Joel Rosario's got to use his speed a little bit going down the stretch the first time. It's a long run to the first time, and hope he gets one of those outside three-wide stalking trips.
That is Mackenzie Bob Baffert's 23rd horse in the Classic. He's got 3 wins, went back to back to back in 2014, 2015, 2016. Shug McGahee, the trainer of Code of Honor, has never won a Classic. Let's get it to Brittany.
Shug, you have had quite the illustrious career, but you said
Parrish, it would be great for him.
Good luck to you, Shug.
Thank you, Brittany.
Ahmed?
Thank you, Brittany. So Shug McGahee trying to get that ever-elusive Classic victory. You think Code of Honor can give it to him?
Oh, I think he can. I mean, Shug says the only 2 major races he's never won that he really would love to win, the Breeders' Cup Classic and the Preakness. Easy Goer was second to Sunday Silence in both of those races. He looks great on the track.
We talked about bricks and mortar earlier, and Chad Brown really not pointing toward this race. Shug McGahee is one of the best trainers in America, picking out a race, pointing to it, and leading a horse up to it with a series of races. He's won his last 2 races at 1.25 miles, loves the distance. If he gets a little pace, which I think he does, I think he runs really well, Randy.
He's going to be well back early, so he'll need a little pace. But keep in mind, Blue Prize won the Distaff earlier today, coming from almost last.
2 wide first turn, 4 wide turn for home. If Code of Honor gets that trip, he's got a chance.
To Vino Rosso, the 10, trained by Todd Pletcher. To Nick.
With owner Mike Rapoli.
Thank you, Nick. As they're loading the final horses in. Final thoughts, guys?
Well, Vino Rosso's tactical. That's one thing he has in his advantage. He can stalk or he can go to the lead.
We think War of Will, number 4, will set the early pace. Mackenzie won't be far off. Mongolian Groom might not be far off. And as you said, Vino Rosso is going to be up there somewhere.
We haven't said much about Higher Power either. He stumbled at the start last time in the Awesome again. Before that, a big winner of the Pacific Classic.
He's a quality horse, and if things go his way, he's certainly capable of winning.
With the call of the $6 million Classic, here is Larry Comas.
And there's just one left to load, and it is Code of Honor, who's coming up to the outside stall. They're all in line. We are ready for the start. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic. It was a good start for Mackenzie, and War of Will goes out to the early lead. Seeking the Soul is close up on the inside. And now he's going to take back, and Mackenzie and Mongolian Groom are going up, and Vino Rosso is on the far outside. They're followed by Owendale and Elate. Farther out, it is Higher Power, and a break of another 4 back to Code of Honor on the outside of Yoshida. Math Wizard is the trailer. So the opening quarter mile is 23.09 seconds, and they make their way into the clubhouse turn with the Preakness winner in front. War of Will has opened up a 2.5 length early lead, with Mackenzie and Mongolian Groom heads apart second and third, and they're getting closer now, and Mackenzie is sent through an opening on the inside. Oh, he's not going to get through there, and he had to take up as they head to the backstretch. Vino Rosso is 4th on the outside, and then it's Owendale in 5th. The half mile was 47.16 seconds. It's a reasonable pace onto the backstretch. Then it's Higher Power, Seeking the Soul. Code of Honor is alongside of Elite, and they're 10 lengths behind right now. Then Yoshida and Math Wizard is the trailer as they head up the backstretch at Santa Anita in the Breeders' Cup Classic, with War of Will the leader, on top by 1.5 lengths. And then it's Mackenzie on the inside, alongside of Mongolian Groom, and Mackenzie's going to come after War of Will now. He's got his run, and Mackenzie has taken the lead. Mackenzie takes over. Mongolian Groom goes with him. War of Will is faded to 3rd. Vino Rosso begins to rev it up from 4th on the outside, and he's storming toward the front runners now. Code of Honor is next, and Higher Power is closing on the outside. They're coming to the top of the stretch, and it is Mackenzie off the turn in front. Vino Rosso comes up to him as they arrive at the 8th pole. Mackenzie digs down. Vino Rosso alongside. These 2 at the 16th pole. Vino Rosso has taken the lead, and it's a vintage performance by Vino Rosso in the Breeders' Cup Classic. second, Higher Power was third, and Elite was fourth. It was VINO Rosso and Irad Ortiz.
Hugs, jubilation for everyone involved with VINO Rosso, your winner of the $6 million Classic.
As we thought, VINO Rosso from the outside was not far off the early lead. On the outside, made his move down the backside, approaching McKenzie. For a minute, it looked like McKenzie was going to shoot away from everybody, but VINO Rosso wore him down, and maybe it was the last eighth of a mile that ended up getting McKenzie.
First time for Joel Rosario on McKenzie, and a somewhat eventful trip.
No problem.
He tried to get up inside of War of Will at one point early backstretch. That didn't work. He hit the gas pedal pretty early, leaving the half-mile pole into the second turn. Might have caught up to him in the last 16th of a mile.
It certainly was far from perfect trip for McKenzie. That's certain.
Todd Pletcher had never won the Classic in 13 tries before. There you see Irad Ortiz.
Is he happy or what?
Classic, yeah. What does that feel like, Jerry?
It's exciting. As good as he is, this is like the pinnacle of things.
And what a weekend for Irad Ortiz. This is his fourth win of the weekend. No other jockey has won more than two. He won last year's Eclipse.
On this horse in the Gold Cup, he got disqualified, so this is a little bit of redemption for Irad Ortiz. He was glad they left him on the horse after the DQ of the last race, and certainly put up a good ride here.
It was a DQ that Jerry and I thought was warranted, but it upset his trainer Pletcher so much that Pletcher made himself unavailable for the media the next day. He didn't want to say something that he would regret. He doesn't usually do that. This is redemption in a lot of different ways.
And Mike Rapoli, he did not bite his tongue. He said the ruling was inconsistent. He said this gives us more juice now going to the Breeders' Cup Classic, and that transferred from Mike Rapoli over to VINO Rosso.
And as many records as trainer Todd Pletcher has set, this is his first Breeders' Cup Classic in 13 tries. So yeah, sweet redemption for Todd Pletcher as well.
One more thing to point out, some of the Eastern horses like Code of Honor.
VINO Rosso getting the win here at Santa Anita. We do want to pass along the news that the 9-horse of Mongolian Groom pulled up, was put on a van about the 8th pole. So concern now for the horses in the field, always paramount, and hoping for the best for the 9 in Mongolian Groom.
He didn't fall. He was pulled up, and we don't know the extent of the injury.
It didn't look like a minor injury, put it that way. But I mean, we went through 2 days of Breeders' Cup uneventful.
187 horses running
with all of the you know, the safeguards in place, and it's unfortunate.
Let's go down to Brittany.
Ahmed, thank you very much. And with the
safeguards, Santa Anita knows that they are under intense scrutiny right now. 14 Breeders' Cup veterinarians around, 30 plus on the grounds examining these horses. And we saw today, Randy, with even minor infractions, minor injuries, they were scratching. They were taking every precaution to make sure that nothing bad happened.
It's such a contradiction. We've seen it in horse racing. Obviously, you've got the winners celebrating in one part of the racetrack, and then you've got the connections of the injured horse grieving on the other side.
So VINO Rosso is your winner of the $6 million Longines Classic. We'll come back here to Santa Anita right after this.
Come on, make room for the champ. The champ is here. The champ is here.